One of the unique characteristics of private events and private functions is by nature they're quite fluffy. If someone is planning a birthday party with you for 100 people and they're turning 40 years old, they might have never actually planned a big birthday party at a venue before. So they might have an expectation in their mind about how they want their event to go. But if they then have their event and it actually comes in under their expectations, this is going to be a deficit in the prospect's mind that you don't really want to have. What's up everybody, this is Daniel here. Today I want to talk about mistakes and I really want to break down two different ways that a hospitality business or a private function or a private event business can make less mistakes, or two different actions that they can use to avoid mistakes. Ultimately, mistakes lead to potentially negative word of mouth because people come to you expecting a result, and if for whatever reason you make a mistake in the delivery of that, then you might underwhelm what the prospect was expecting, and hence they might not have good things to say about you, and you really don't want to be having too much negative word of mouth out in the marketplace that you're playing in. So some of the common frustrations that I see are people don't know who's in charge of what. So this could be if you're delivering a wedding, a birthday party, corporate event, baby shower. If your team who is delivering that event doesn't know who's in charge of what, that is a pitfall that can lead to more mistakes. Also, if there is not shared clarity around the plan of delivery on the day of that event, this is another common pitfall that can lead to mistakes because one person could be doing one job, another person could be doing another job, and if there's no clear communication between them, then often that is going to open you up to potential issues. And really what happens is if you can start to mitigate mistakes, aka mitigate negative word of mouth in the delivery that you guys have within the private function or private event businesses that you have, you can start to see there is a correlation between an increase in referral business because you're essentially turning down the negative word of mouth dial within your business, which is going to have an impact on positive word of mouth in terms of net effect in the local market. You'll also probably find it easier to generate testimonials after the event has happened because if you have less mistakes, you're most likely going to have more happy or satisfied customers, hence easier to generate testimonials as a result of making less mistakes. So if I'm going to break down the number one reason why people make mistakes or why issues happen within delivery of private functions or private events, it's really going to come down to clarity and communication within your team. So really focusing on the actions and activities which provide clarity within delivery, but also clear communication within your team is going to be the right direction to head into. So there are essentially two ways that I would recommend a hospitality business or a private function business that delivers private events, two activities that you can use to mitigate those mistakes that could potentially happen. Firstly, you can use a run sheet, okay? So I would say this is pretty compulsory for most venues, but essentially a run sheet is a document in which is going to be breaking down how the event is going to be structured and the key features of an event that you're delivering. And this run sheet can then be printed off and given to the prospect or the host that you're delivering the event for. So you have shared clarity between what they've purchased from you and what you're actually going to deliver. You can print one out and give it to the kitchen. You can print one out and have it as the owner. You can print another one out and give it to each of the staff members who are actually going to be working the floor and delivering the event, whether they're bartenders making drinks, whether they're servers handing out food, whether it's a chef that needs to know when the guest is arriving, so they need to figure out what days they need to order their food beforehand and when they need to start prepping for the event itself. So a run sheet is essentially a document which has shared communication between all parties involved, including the actual customer. One of the unique characteristics of private events and private functions is by nature they're quite fluffy. If someone is planning a birthday party with you for 100 people and they're turning 40 years old, they might have never actually planned a big birthday party at a venue before. So they might have an expectation in their mind about how they want their event to go, but if they then have their event and it actually comes in under their expectations, this is going to be a deficit in the prospect's mind that you don't really want to have. What a run sheet does is it removes some of that fluffiness of what the prospect is actually expecting to have and what they're actually going to get. Because when it is written down in a document that is shared between all parties, it starts to align expectations to reality. Hence, you're less likely to have that negative effect of someone's expectations being up here and your delivery delivery of the actual event being down here. So that's why run sheets can be very valuable. The second tool that you can use to start to mitigate negative word of mouth or mistakes that you make within your business is a delivery roadmap. So the difference between a run sheet and a delivery roadmap is a run sheet is a document that is used for each event. So they are slightly different and it allows to have shared clarity and communication between the prospect and all parties involved in delivery within your team for that prospect's event. But what a delivery roadmap does is it starts to take the services that you offer and put them into a choreographed process or a product to say, once the sale is made, this is going to happen. The email is going to be sent to confirm the event with the prospect on this day. 2 days before the event actually happens, we need to have clarity with the chef around exactly what food we need to have. Once the event has actually happened, we need to have a 48-hour follow-up with the prospect via a call to get some feedback, and if the feedback was good, we then want to ask for a testimonial. So what it does is it starts to map out the key milestones within delivery of the private events that you as a business do, and it really puts it more into the context of it being a product. It is a set thing. Once a deal is closed, this is what happens internally. So it gives you more clarity and direction of what you do and what you don't do, okay? So that's really the key difference between a delivery roadmap and a run sheet. So just to clarify, the two actions or activities that you can use to mitigate mistakes within your business is start using apps that give shared clarity between the prospect and everyone involved in delivery. And the second thing is having a delivery roadmap, which starts to take the services that you provide and turn them more into a product, at least from an internal perspective of the key milestones of delivery within the private functions and private events that you do. And if you have these two things implemented in your business well, you will most likely be making less mistakes and most likely be getting less negative word of mouth, hence generating more positive word of mouth in terms of the net effect of word of mouth in your local market. So I hope that made sense to somebody out there. Hopefully that was valuable. If you got some value out of that, I would love a like or a comment below. It helps us out very, very much. Also, if you haven't subscribed and you are interested in this type of content, would love you to subscribe as well if you want to get some more videos of this nature. So I appreciate you guys taking the time today. You all have a good one.